All right. How's everyone out there? Saturday evening. Bob's back. Another installment of Tales from the Clubhouse. Dum, 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 dum. It's all right. We cover lots of good stuff in this Tales from the Clubhouse. Starting to like this series. Getting a little feedback. The audience is enjoying it as well. So tonight, oh yeah, I'm doing all my videos live now, by the way. I will come back probably tomorrow and put the thumbnails on everything. Don't forget, if you want to show that you support Biker News Canada, get a hold of me on Facebook Messenger. Go. Hey, go. And I will let you know how to receive one. $15 each, and that includes postage, no matter where you live. And also, want a copy of my book about my time in the club. Names of the club and the other people have been changed for obvious reasons. One Night at the Playpen. It's available on Amazon, or again, contact me on Facebook Messenger and I'll send you a signed copy. And that's what we got for those two things. Books and patches for now. Calendars will be on the way by the end of next week, and they're going to cover all the biker events going from May until the end of October. So it'll be a 6-month calendar, and they will be available right down from weekly rides to all the big weekend events and biker rallies and poker runs and whatever else I can find out there online is been included in this calendar. This is only the first year. Every year it'll get better. And watch me nightly. I think it's going to switch to 7 p.m. nightly, and I'll be doing all the weekly biker runs for the next day on that day's video. So if you catch me Tuesday, I'll tell you about Wednesday's runs, etc. So let's get into what I want to talk about, Tales from the Clubhouse. Oh yeah, actively we're looking for sponsors too. If you could see me starting out the show with an ad for your business, or putting an ad for your business somewhere inside the show in the middle somewhere, let me know. Get a hold of me. We'll figure out something that's fair, and we'll get things going. Which reminds me, I'm going to make a website. It's getting made now, and it's going to match up small business owners that want to do ads on YouTube channels, but can't afford the big ones, and small YouTube channels that are looking for sponsors who can't seem to find any. We're going to put everything together on the website. People that are looking for sponsors and people that are looking to sponsor, match them up and see if we can get things happening that way. That's my newest brainchild. It should be out in a month or so. Okay, so Tales from Clubhouse. We're talking about pillow talk tonight. Oh, I got to change that little video down there. That heading Thursday's video. I got to change that. Anyways, pillow talk. You ever been standing there? This is going out to guys that are in clubs, and especially guys that are in 1% clubs, because 1% clubs, a lot of the stuff that's talked about is club stuff, and that's got to stay within the club members. So I remember a few times we stand there at the clubhouse and somebody's old lady come up to me and start talking to me about something that we just talked about in a meeting the night before. It's like, what are you doing knowing this information? Obviously, I knew where she had the information from, but at the same time, why? So I'll give you a couple of reasons why. Sometimes the guy wants to make himself sound important to his old lady. So he can tell her about a couple insider information things that only guys in the club know. Make himself feel a little bit more important. Now listen, if you're in a kind of relationship where you got to make yourself feel important in front of your old lady, you're probably not in the right relationship. Other times, it's because a lot of people like to shit talk these days. So if they've been talking about maybe one member who hasn't been towing his weight or hasn't been living up to his responsibilities, and happens to be a guy that this person doesn't like, then this person's telling us, oh, you see what we were talking about with that guy over there, and he's going to be lucky if we don't care, stuff like that. That's bullshit too. That should stay in the club no matter what. the face that you give, that you present, is you're all united no matter what, no matter if you hate each other in the background. You're all united as the face that you give, especially again in a 1% club, because they're a little more serious and there could be more things at risk. There could be physical safety at risk and there could be personal freedom at risk. And that's another reason that some guys do it, is maybe they're going to go out and do something, and for some reason they think that they might, end up in custody, and they want to tell their old lady so that she can be ready in case it happens. I don't know. I think that's kind of a weak, wishy-washy approach, but again, everyone's different. But one thing I will tell you for sure is pillow talk has no place in a motorcycle club at all. Again, like I said, way back on episode 1, what happens in the clubhouse stays in the clubhouse. And that includes if you happen to have church in the clubhouse, or if you have church somewhere else. That's an extension for rule number 1, the biggest rule of every motorcycle club and or clubhouses. Whatever happens there stays there. It's not for public consumption. If it was, they wouldn't, feel that it was a sneaky thing. Hey, Naomi. And hey, Mike. How are you guys? Good to see you out here. You guys always make my day when I see your names on my chat. Thank you guys for popping in. I'm just doing a little video about pillow talk. And now pillow talk can really be one of them things that can be the start of a large inner conflict inside of a club or a chapter of said club. Because all of a sudden the old ladies are talking amongst each other and they're each giving out their own version of said story. Yes, it could get a guy killed. Absolutely it could, man. I don't, I've never seen it, but I've heard of it, man. It could get a guy killed. Thanks. Good to see you too, Naomi. Again, always a pleasure to see both you and Mike and anyone who comes this way out of that chat or from over wherever. I love to see all of y'all. So, yeah, like Mike said, pillow talking can get an MFR kilt done. So like I say, something gets leaked out into an old lady's ear and then she spreads it out to another person. And it's kind of like the telephone game, only it could have some real life and death consequences. And further than that, if you really care about your club and all that, hey, Carney, how are you, bro? If you care about your club and and your brothers in it and the organization as a bigger picture, you won't talk about the inner workings of said club to anybody, because again, that's got to stay there inside the club. Hey, Stefano, how are you, bro? Good to see you. I gave no warning today. I just kind of decided I got to make a video and do something and get myself moving around, man. So I appreciate it. That's all you need to do in bed, Mike. Those are the 2 main reasons that we buy beds. I don't see any reason to go to bed to have a goddamn conversation. You had all day to do that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, because like I say, a rumor goes in one ear and comes out that person's mouth changed, because they're rumors. There's not necessarily truth. Once it gets past the second or third person, man, it's no longer the truth. It's a rumor, and then it's a story, and then it can snowball into be whatever the hell it turns into. Listen, you two. Are you guys together in California? Did you go, Naomi? And how's your daughter, bro? Did you have a good visit so far? I hope you did. So I think most of my videos on the Tales from the Clubhouse have morphed into, if, okay, next time, next time. You don't live in the same state as Mike either, do you? Are you in like Texas or something like that? I saw in one of the chats. So yeah, like I was saying, a lot of my videos have ended up being, kind of to people that are new to going to the clubhouse, or people that are new to having a patch and stuff like that. And this is stuff that you might not be picking up from the people bringing you up. And North Dakota, okay. And this is just stuff it's stuff that you should think about, especially if you're on your way into a club or new to being in a club. There's all stuff you should keep in the back of your mind. It should be just kind of stuff that you know instinctively, but it doesn't hurt to be reminded. So you get to go see her tomorrow. Okay, right on. Oh, you knew that already. Are you staying with your friends? Flew my. Okay, I get it. Yeah, because I saw your legs in a couple of videos. I saw your feet. Are you saying with what's his name? Something Bagger, is it? Chino Bagger? What's his name? Your brother? I from your other club, or I think he's from your other club. I was friends. I'm friends with him on Facebook. I met him through you. You know who I mean. Are you staying with him? He seems like a good guy. So yeah, so if you're catching these Tales from the Clubhouse videos and you've been in the club for a lot of years, it's even stuff to remind you guys to pass along to your new guys. And it's like I say, it's just stuff that it seems like common sense when you hear it coming out of a mouth, but you'd be surprised. The biggest and baddest dudes snuggling on up to some new tomato, and they feel like they got to make themselves sound important. I think that's where most of it comes from. Saying hotel. Yeah, I get that, bro. Actually, when I used to see my kids, I always got a hotel for the same reason. Just so that it was our time and our time alone, just to be a little bit greedy with my kids' time. Because, you only get that much time and then you're back heading home again. So make the most of it. And you know what to do. You're a dad. You already know that you know what to do. She'll be ecstatic to see you. She'll be screaming and yelling. She'll love it. But so yeah, you'd be surprised how many of the older guys, when they're getting with a new tomato, have a need, and some, I guess it goes both ways. A lot of the younger guys will kind of talk a little bit shit about the older guys because they don't understand that the older guys have things handed down to them. So they're handing down shit to you that was handed down to them from way back in the day, man. And these are the certain principles of motorcycle clubs that they're telling you. And usually when you get a lesson, they'll teach you the lesson before they tell you the subject. So, and it feels a little harsh sometimes when you're on the receiving end, but it's how they were told their lesson, and it's how you're going to teach the lesson when it's your generation bringing up the next crew. So always keep that in mind. The older guys might bust your balls and make you feel a little bit dumb, but that's just so you remember it. Lessons that you learn like that, you always remember. That's right, SNS. That's what's wrong, but right. And you always got to remember those lessons, and you should. That's why they're given to you in the way that they were given to you. And that's why you got to know enough to pass those lessons down to the next generation as they're coming up. And let me tell you, as a guy that saw a lot of in and out, a lot of flow, sometimes you get to the point where you don't want to teach all the lessons to all the new guys because you're not sure if they're staying or not. So if the older guys aren't really paying you much mind and they're not really giving you any of those old lessons, it's because they're not sure yet if you're staying or not. And it's a lot of work and it's a lot of knowledge, and you don't want to pass it all on to somebody who was just there because it sounded cool for a minute, and now my buddies aren't doing it, so I quit too. Yeah, I get what you're saying there, SNS, about repeating the bad parts of the history. But see if, yeah, that's actually a good topic for a conversation with other people who've been in the club life. Is the history of the club in general and how it was built and how it was formed, and what the mindset is when it was getting brought together and as it was expanding. That part of the history you should keep and repeat. Some parts of the history where there was violence involved and people losing their freedom and worse, losing their lives, that's the stuff that should be remembered but not repeated. And that'd be a great conversation for some old heads from the biker world. In fact, I'm going to try to put that conversation together one day. I do know, I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. Stax is lining up a conversation with myself and an old head from the 81 from the United States. He's quite famous. So I'm not going to give you no names yet. He's got books. He's been on lots of different channels, and him and I are gonna talk about the life. It should be interesting. I haven't been given any more details than that, except I know who it is and I know what time that we're getting in front of our cameras tomorrow. So I'm excited for that. So Bill Stax has been very good to me. Just so you guys know, check out his channel, Chatting with Stax, when you get a minute. He's got all the parts of my first interview have been released, and then all the parts of my next interview are coming up shortly. Now we're doing a third interview with this. He's a bit of a legend from the 81 Nation. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest. I'm fucked right now. So if I'm in an ass, I'm sorry, between the morphine and the alcohol, I don't know if I'm coming or going. Well, you should probably have more morphine, less alcohol. No, I'm not a doctor. I don't think they're supposed to be together, but what do I know? Because I say 420 goes with pretty much everything. All right. So, anyways, I wasn't intending on making this a long video. I do appreciate you guys popping in and saying hello. I always do. SNS, Mike, Naomi, and who else do we have? And Stefano. Thank you guys all for popping in. And Carney, too. Thank you guys all for coming in. Don't forget, check out rednecksidemotorcyclewhips.com. He's a personal friend of the show and of everybody. Check him out. On the way through the checkout page, put in Biker News Canada, and he's generously given us 15% off for everyone who uses that code on the checkout. So check it out. I was always invited to 81 parties in Clubhouse when I was 19, went a few years. Never wanted to join, especially after watching them. Couldn't fathom being a bitch, so I stayed independent. Well, see, that's a part that everyone says that, I'm not being nobody's bitch. But that's a part that after you've been around, see, I hung around for a long time. And they explained it to me because that was my big stumbling block too. I don't want to be nobody's bitch or wash a bike or shovel the snow. But you know what? In the end of it, it's what you're going to do anyway as a member. So that's what it is. It's not being a bitch. It's what you're going to do anyways as a member. If your brother calls you up in the middle of the night and he's hurting for something and he's your brother, you're going to help him. Whatever it is he needs a hand with, you're going to help. That's why you're in a club. Because if there's any time that you need something and you make a phone call, you're going to receive it. So it's a two-way street, and it's just getting your mindset into, this isn't me being a bitch. This is me doing what needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? Yes, and it has to be nice if they get all the clubs as one, because they've already got the one big enemy, and that's the government. Yeah, right. I get it, Stefano. But I was just giving you the explanation I was given because that was my big stumbling block, whether I wanted to join the club I joined or not. And it was the mindset of I don't want to be nobody's bitch. But then when it's been explained to you in those terms, it makes a little more sense, and then you can get over that stumbling block because it is supposed to be a two-way street. You're not lying. Be yourself and be strong. Yep, that's all you gotta do. And there's some things you're allowed to say no to. You know what I mean? Just say fuck. I'm not doing that. And then there was always the other one that I used to do once in a while. If it was something like mop a floor or something, and there's a supporter hanging around, maybe you can get the man a beer. Maybe he'll sweep the floor for you or something like that, right? There's workarounds. Just don't tell him I told you. All right. So back to the. Actually, I like talking to you guys in the chat. Half the time, that makes a better show than just talking about what I had because I don't write nothing down. I just go off my head. I think of myself, oh, that'll be a good subject. And then I come and turn everything on and I talk about it. So that's how I do my videos. But the pillow talk thing, if you're new to a club, if you've been in a club for a while, any which way, don't do the pillow talk business. It ain't what you're there for. If you think you need that to get laid, well, then maybe you don't really have no game. That's right. So that's all I got for today, guys. Again, it's my pleasure seeing all you guys in the chat. Makes my day, makes my videos seem so much better. That's why I switched over to doing live for every video now. And that's how I'll continue doing it. This Thursday, we're going to do an interview with Bob. We started an interview with him from Run to the Hills rally in Alberta, and then we had technical glitches. So he's coming back this Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. We're going to finish up his interview. He's a really cool guy, and he's been in the motorcycle community in Alberta, for years, anyways, since Christ was a cowboy. Thanks, Stefano. You have a great night, brother. Thanks for popping in all the time, man. I really do appreciate you, bro. And that goes for the rest of you too, S&S and Carney and everyone. Love you guys. Thank you all for popping in. I appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow. And until then, good night, brothers. Oh, and Naomi, sisters.